Welcome back, Truth Seeker.
Yeah, for all you people abandoning the Patreon because football season's over, what is wrong with you guys? You know, we're winning like crazy right now. You should be with us. Money, man. People just want money, 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 money. And yeah, you guys want to support this work and see it go to the top where it belongs. We need more support. We need Gematria Effect news studios and teams all across this nation. And it's not going to happen until people actually support the news work I do. You guys support the sports work I do. But the news, that's what I need people to support. Well, Ben, there's a guy who made a video jealous about all the properties I own. I guess you can watch that for one. So, I mean, there's people out there that are aware. As you begin public records, you can look up my name and go like, shit, he owns a lot of real estate.
I used to own 10 properties. Like, okay, you can own properties. It doesn't mean you're making any money.
Well, I make pretty good money. A lot of my properties are paid off, Ben. So you admitted it.
Okay, that's fantastic. Okay, so you're a low-level real estate investor. Okay. Does Gematria help you to make an investment in real estate?
Well, it helps me secure the funds to purchase homes. That's what it does.
From this incredible scam.
How do you get
Okay, but
funds
why
from
would you invest in
Gematria?
real estate if you have the secret keys to everything? Why don't you just play the stock market? Because you know what's happening.
I am in the market
It's
too,
like
Ben. Ben,
so
I'm in the
fucking
market
easy to
also.
get-
I got a good amount of money in the
If
market.
anything you said was true, you'd be a
Ben,
billionaire.
I have a good amount of money
You're
in the
a
market. I got a
loser,
good amount of
and
money
your
in real
flex is
estate.
that I have
I'm
rental
diversified,
properties
Ben.
that-
Who gives a Is the money channel? Who the is this shit?
I just made a
It makes
point.
sense to
You're
get,
trying to say,
why-
where's any proof? I said a hater made a video about all the properties I own. I mean, so there's one thing you could look
Why
into.
would you own properties when you have the keys to everything? Why wouldn't you just bet on gold and keep racking it up? Like, couldn't you predict?
Ben, can you explain
If you
why
could
gold
predict
and
the future,
silver are
you
through
have
the
to
roof?
be
So
twice a
Ben,
day.
Ben, do you have a subscription service that has over 10,000 customers?
You find
Ben,
a bridge and
Ben, do you have a subscription service that has
Jump!
10,000 paying customers a month?
Jump
Do you
up,
have a
it's
subscription
ended.
service that
It's
has
the
over
only
10,000
way
subscribers a
out of
month?
this.
Do you have 10,000 people paying you a month for knowledge and information?
Do you have an OnlyFans?
Do you?
I do.
He doesn't have 10,000 plus paying members. He has about 2,750. The rest are just people that follow the page after unsubscribing.
Do you have 10,000 people paying you a month for knowledge and information?
Do you have an OnlyFans?
Do you?
I do. Stop lying. You know, every year you're just a liar. That's all you do. You just lie about everything. There's no truth that comes out of your mouth.
Like, I had to step away after the Super Bowl last year because we absolutely got it wrong. I got it wrong. I was absolutely banking on that 666, either win or loss. I can't remember what it was, you know.
Right.
Like, we have to be able to admit when we're wrong and we're right.
How about shut the fuck up, morons? I'm not wrong about anything. I'm right about everything.
Right.
And still be, I don't want to say adult about it because that's not really the right way to say it. Just be humble about it. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah, I get you.
at this point, everybody wants to be the best decoder and everybody's out at each other's throats. And we can't be that way if this is something that we're really trying to get to take off. I'm proud of Zach. I'm proud that Zach was able to, you know, bring this knowledge forth and be able to make a living off of it, right? But it is kind of like a slap in our face whenever he's trying to make himself look better on like CT's channel and being like, well, how many houses do you have paid off? And nobody gives a fuck about how many houses anybody has paid off. And if you do, then you're in it for the wrong reasons, because we should not be in it for money. We're trying to get out of the money situation, right? We're trying to get out of the system.
Yeah, fair words. Fair words.
So it's just, I guess that's why I stepped away. It's just because there was so much division, so much animosity, and it's just like, it didn't seem to be going in the direction that I wanted. I was thinking this was going to go back when I joined this community back in 2018, you know? So that's why I just had to step away, and I was like, you know, there's got to be a different way.
A lot of you just sit there with your hands in your pockets and just get beat by the game and complain about it. You know, Amy cracked their code. I appreciate that she teaches the knowledge, but I heard her in a live stream recently complaining about the fact that I've done well. And she said, well, Zach's one of a few rare examples of people who've done well in this community. That's not true. There's a lot of people who've done well.
Yeah, you.
You're not doing anything with the knowledge to improve your position. To be complaining about that is kind of sad. Amy, if you're out there, instead of complaining about that you don't like about me boasting about my success, make yourself more successful. I heard Amy also complaining that she doesn't have much free time to do decodes anymore because of her corporate slave job. If you want to work a corporate slave job, that's up to you. But you could be using this knowledge and improving your position and maybe getting away from your corporate slave job. Everyone can be doing that.
Fairy tales.
And again, Amy, if you're out there, I heard you complaining about me going on Chaotic Goons channel. Again, I don't go on that channel out of pleasure. I go over there to teach the ignorant and also to figure out if there's a way to work with these types of people. You dumb goy. Amy, when you're complaining about things you don't like that I'm doing, and then you're talking about how you don't have time anymore because you still have to go to your slave job, sounds like maybe things aren't registering as well as they should. Again, a lot of you could have done a lot more in this world had you implemented what you learned. You got to use the knowledge. You got to use it.
And why aren't you using it?
Amy, if you're out there, I'm going to keep picking on you. I was hearing Amy complain about how she didn't like hearing me talk about how well I'm doing because there's not many people in this community doing as well. There's a lot of people doing this community. A lot of people in this community doing well. And I think there's some people who have been even more aggressive than me and done even better than I have.
Bullshit.
That means everybody else could have done it too. So the people who haven't done it are the ones who have chosen not to do anything with the knowledge to improve their position. And I know in the case of Amy, she has one of those corporate slave jobs.
Notice how he tries to put people down for working normal jobs. This guy has so much contempt for the average person, it's not even funny.
It is March Madness time. We're going to see if we can do it again. Nail the champion out of the gate.
Well, we're gonna find out.
But yeah, the matchup we thought was going to happen all year. It is possible. So we're so happy to see the bracket out with our potential championship matchup as a possibility. If you want to get that intel, come join us on the Patreon. But yeah, we're happy to see the brackets. Those are the people in the community already know what I'm thinking. I think we're going to get it done again. The clues are abound. They've been landing all season. Something I've never done, though, is had all 4 of the final 4 teams correct. I don't think I've done that yet. We've nailed both teams out of the gate for the championship, but never had all 4 right in the final 4, so that'll be the mark for this year. Can we get it done?
I doubt it.
Another winning day, and you're like, oh, I've seen your hater channel. You know, it's my hater channel. He posts videos, seldomly. He waits for once in the blue moon where we have a bad day. Sometimes he has to sit there for 6 months in silence. Finally have a bad day. Oh, I'm going to make a video about how dumb gematria is. It's like, who's watching this and believing this? Think we had a bad day? Well, we had a bad day and forever. Now it's all bunk. I mean, come on. The only people this work doesn't resonate with are morons.
Quite the opposite, actually.
If you can't win with the information I put out daily, you are a retard. Period. Again, the only people not winning with this knowledge are really dumb people. And that's just a fact.
Like yourself.
Why is Professor Jiang getting 1 million views per video?
Is that jealousy I detect?
All you guys sending me videos, check out Professor Jiang. Don't take this the wrong way, but if I could, I'd probably just punch you right in the face. Don't send me a Professor Jiang video. I don't need to know anything Professor Jiang's talking about. He's not a professor. And you know what, you guys? That's part of the reason. They don't want, I guarantee you the cabal sees how well I'm doing over here, and they just want to slow me down as much as possible. They don't want somebody like me accumulating the wealth I deserve, because then I might actually be able to fucking hurt them. Again, you just listen to it. It's like mental illness. That's what should happen every day with this knowledge. We should just it should be rolling in like that every day. If that was the case, I'd be funding exactly everything that needs to happen. Gematria Effect News Studios in every corner of the world.
So I have a base for my analysis.
Watch, Professor Jiang will do this same video. It'll have 1 million views. Wow, Professor Jiang, that was a great, wow, I never knew that, Professor Jiang. Wow, that was amazing, Jiang. Fuck out of here. Don't be the next person to send me a Professor Jiang video. It really annoys me because it makes me go, God, these people must be just dumb as fuck. You can't figure out that this is some plant? Why the fuck's he getting 1 million views? The rest of us got deleted and shadow banned. Professor Jiang, 1 million views again?
Intense, burning jealousy.
Annoys me. It's like, why do people care about this guy? He's just bullshitting. I mean, that's what you gotta do. That's the only way to win in this world is to lie to these fucking losers. That's all they respond to. All the fucking losers respond to is getting lied to and bullshit, talking out of your ass, making stuff up, far-fetched claims.
You're really just talking about yourself.
Just make up shit. That's all these people respond to. Lies. It's the only fucking thing these morons respond to. Lies.
Flashback.
Year after year, we continue to hit the big upsets in the first round. But a lot of you guys are into March Madness, and we do our damage every year in the opening round.
Well, we're gonna find out.
The reason I favor Ohio State is because I see that if they win, they get their 22nd win, and then they play Duke, who likes 22, like basketball, and then they stay on 22. I would like to see Duke play Ohio State more, because if Duke beats Ohio State, they're going to become 6-4 versus Ohio State. I see something symbolic in that. The first ever men's tournament was in 1939. Remember, Blue Devils equals 39. Just like Indianapolis is on the 39th parallel. If Duke were to beat Ohio State, they would be 6-4 versus Ohio State all time. It doesn't have to go that way, but I would like to see that happen. To me, that would be one of these little tributes that they do along the way to where Duke is going. It doesn't have to go that way. I hate to fade the 35 Thursday, so I gotta encourage caution with this first game on the slate. But I do want to see Duke play Ohio State and beat them. I think that would be a sign. Yeah, you might have a lot of predictions, but how often are you wrong? Who cares about how often I'm wrong? Nebraska coaching it is 227th all-time career win in the second round if they play Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt Commodores 227. So Nebraska would play Vanderbilt in the next round. I do like that 227 is in the most simple cipher. That's the one it hits. All right, so if Nebraska beats Troy, yeah, they would play Vanderbilt.
I kind of like Nebraska to make it to the Sweet 16 if they can get past this game, because Nebraska Cornhuskers is 286-92.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna
University.
And if they beat Vanderbilt, the coach is gonna get his 227th
Yeah.
win. Another 26 that can play in the opening round, South Florida upsetting Louisville. But yeah, South Florida, I think they got a better narrative to beat Louisville. You want to play it safe. You can tease them up to – tomorrow's games have 5-8 numerology. You can tease them up to +5.5. Wisconsin, High Point. They're saying if Wisconsin and Arkansas meet, they have two very similar players that play the same position, and it would be a great show. You know, kind of it's a game of 5-on-5, but when you have two great players play the same position, it can be a kind of a one-on-one. So they're saying, again, as someone who doesn't really follow college basketball, I'm hearing that, and to me that sounds like showtime. So Wisconsin and Arkansas in the next round. Keep in mind, if Wisconsin wins, they get their 42nd win. They face the Razorbacks, who like 42, and then maybe Arkansas beats them and keeps them on 42. That'd be their 42nd win in the tournament. Why do you think USA Today wrote their article about me? It's because this was never done before. Casinos have never taken losses like this before. I don't need to talk about Duke and Siena. Duke's next win this year is 33. Siena equals 33.
I guess McNeese and Vanderbilt. If Vanderbilt lost, they will fall to 26-9, and Vanderbilt University equals 269.
That was a major oversight.
Some of it's not important.
Man, and that 26 thing too. That's a pretty good one there. Vanderbilt University. Maybe I like that more. All right, that's a good one. I don't know. That might be the better scenario. I think McNeese at +11.5 is a smarter play. OKC likes 11. Michigan State, North Dakota State. Again, I expect that Shire's going to face off against Izzo. There is a chance that Michigan State gets shocked and loses in Buffalo because their next loss is 27 in the tournament. Buffalo loves 27, but if they win the next two, they're going to get their 27th win this year. That's more likely. Yeah, but I do like the idea that Shire and Izzo are going to meet up. Again, I think Arkansas wins. Here's my concern about Arkansas. They're in Portland 37 land. If they lose one of the first two, they're going to get their 37th loss in the tournament. I do think they play Wisconsin next, and Wisconsin can stay on 42. Like I said, Razorbacks 42, but that's going to be a little bit challenging, that game. I think that's going to happen, but VCU, North Carolina, I saw that if UNC wins their first two games, they're going to have to beat Illinois likely. If they play Illinois in the next round and beat them, they're going to get their 136th tournament win. Illinois Fighting Illini 136. So I think that's got some legs. And that would be their 26th win of the year, Jordan 26. Anyway, that's what I see. I see North Carolina upsetting Illinois in the next round. So,
you know what, you guys? This is not a false statement. I could wipe my ass with the name Nostradamus. Literally. People don't like my arrogance. Too bad. I can wipe my ass with the name Nostradamus, and that's a fact.
Michigan, yeah. I think Michigan should get their 69th win. They'll be 69-31 in the tournament. Howard equals 69, Bison 31.
And adding to your BYU Texas narrative with the Texas team improving to 42 and 42, BYU Cougars is 42 and the most pure, right?
Well, I talked about it yesterday.
I know, but I'm just saying BYU Cougars is 42 and the most pure.
Oh, that's right. Not just, you're right. They have the double connection to 42. Yeah, that's probably the better scenario. That is the better scenario. I'm being an idiot. Yeah, that 42 and 42 is the top scenario. Texas becoming 42 in the tournament is the top clue. It is. Texas A&M and St. Mary's. I saw that if Houston plays Texas A&M in the next round, they can get their 30th win of the year. Aggies is 30 in the most pure. Little battle of Texas. And I should have written that down too, because Texas also equals 30 in the reverse. So that's pretty much how I made my read here, just that it would make more sense if Houston beat Texas A&M than St. Mary's in the next round. Doesn't always have to go that way. The Gales need one more win to hit a symbolic number for them, 28, but to me it makes more sense if Houston plays Texas A&M. That said, notice Illinois' next win this year is 25, and their next tournament wins 47. So beating Trump School, Trump equals 25 and 47. Number 47 back in office in 2025. And not to mention all the rituals Trump's had with the 312 area code, Chicago, Illinois, including the Pope. So yeah, in all likelihood, Illinois wins. But St. Louis and Georgia. If Georgia's coach wins, he gets his 322nd win. University of St. Louis, 322. If Georgia coach wins, he gets his 79th win with Georgia. St. Louis Billikens, 79. I got to think that's the top clue. I mean, that's a double alignment. My concern is looking ahead. If Georgia lost, Michigan would have a great narrative to beat the Billikens. That's St. Louis, but I can't fade that immediate narrative. It's just so perfect, the 3-2-2-79.
Another wrong prediction. People want to focus on the things where I've been wrong. Why?
Gonzaga should face Arizona, in my opinion. Houston, their scare is staying on 28 wins because Idaho's 28. Could happen. They could make up and have a shocking year. But their next one's also 29, and OKC likes 29 and write down. They can get the 29th win, OKC 29. Yeah, I don't think Houston's going to get bounced in the first round. And like I said, if they get past, then they have a good narrative to beat the Aggies, who I could see them playing.
And then he's always doing his false math for how much money you would have lost, which is total BS. Congrats to the winners.
Yeah, we hit the bookie nice.
Yeah, fair words. Fair words. Decent day yesterday. Would have liked to have gotten off to a better start in March Madness. The game that irritated me a little bit was UNC blowing the 19-point lead on the 19th. I thought it was making a lot of sense there with that UNC-Illinois matchup in 26 for Jordan, but it wasn't so. Yeah, and I shouldn't have doubted 35 Thursday either in that first game on Ohio State. I didn't exactly doubt it. I said it was a dangerous game, but probably should have just rocked with the 35 Thursday in that one. We're going to see if 22 is in effect. It's the 79th day of the year, 22nd prime. This game tips off in about 40 minutes. I do worry about Santa Clara getting their 27th win. Could be their last win of the year. Could be a symbolic 27. That is a big number there in Santa Clara. Something I noticed yesterday, most of the games I was wrong on were coach narratives. So the coach narratives don't seem to be too helpful. Yeah, the tournament records and the season records definitely doing better than the coaches. Keep that in mind for today. Coach narratives, you might want to fade those. They don't look like the winning narratives. Does Kentucky get the 22nd win? First game today. Keep an eye on that. It's the 79th day of the year, the 22nd prime, big basketball number. But Santa Clara can't get that 27th win. What makes it iffy. If Santa Clara loses, though, Santa Clara, California is 79, and they would fall to 7-9 in the tournament on the 79th day of the year. Akron, after LeBron's ritual yesterday, I really got to think Akron does get it done. They have good value. Yesterday, the first 12 on the slate won. When you spell out 12 as a word, it's 87. But that 30-5 does look a lot like 35 for King James. And you can take Akron with the points, too. You can take Akron with the points. 7.5-point dog on 6-date numerology. But I feel like after that mega ritual they did there with LeBron, could be a good sign for him. You know how much money I've pulled out of the casino's pockets? I guarantee you it's in the hundreds of millions of dollars. Yeah, I don't think Arizona's going to get shocked here. Virginia, big favorite versus Wright State. Wright State did have some interesting things. They could get the 39th win. Their coach, it's a coach narrative though, so you know the coach narratives are definitely weird. He could get his 39th win in their 39th season. That would be the shocker, but so far the coach narrative's not really paying dividends. Virginia would get their 36th win in the tournament on a Friday. We know 30s. In the same way Thursday likes 35, Friday likes 36. Iowa State, again, Nebraska came out and played great yesterday. If Nebraska's going to the Final Four, I think Iowa State's going to be there too in their division in tribute to Fred Hoiberg. Again, Iowa State wins 4 games, you guys. That puts them in the Final Four with 31 wins. 31 years ago, Fred Hoiberg graduated from college his last year with Iowa State. That was the 94-95 season, like how April 4th is the 94th day of the year, 95th day in a leap year. It's not a leap year, though, but it is the 94th day. So I don't think Iowa State's going down today. Huge favorite as well. I don't think Alabama's going down. Like I said, they can get their 33rd tournament win. Hofstra 33 date numerology. Villanova. I'll be surprised if Villanova doesn't get the 25th win. I know Jerry Cruz liked Utah State here, but Utah State 25 like Pope. It's the Pope school. How about shut the fuck up, morons? I'm not wrong about anything.
And then plays the clip of the I'm never wrong about fucking anything. I feel like today's going to be better than yesterday. Yesterday should have been better. I got to give myself a D- on some of my decisions yesterday. The only one I'm really mad at myself, well, the North Carolina one's the one that annoyed me. I didn't feel like that was a bad read. I just felt like I got gypped at 19 points. Man, they were what up 19 with like midway through the second. God, it's annoying watching that shit go on. Oh shit, I didn't even write down a conclusion, but I just put on the bracket. I just gave it to Miami of Ohio because I feel like they got something to prove, barely making it in the tournament after having a nearly perfect season. Miami can get their 33rd win on 33 date numerology versus Tennessee. Tennessee equals 137 to 33rd prime. But yeah, I could see them upsetting. I could see them getting that 33rd win. We know 33 is a special number. Miami of Ohio's coach, he could stay on 47 losses. Yes, the coach narratives have been misleading. Tennessee's coach's next win symbolic, but again, the coaches have been misleading. If Tennessee doesn't win, they're staying on 22 wins. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 253, the 22nd triangular number. So, safer way is to play them with the points, but a lot of upsets come out of the 11.
There's never been anyone more right who's walked on the face of this fucking earth than yours truly.
Iowa, Clemson. Again, it looks like Clemson could shock Florida. So the threat is the 22. If 22's hot, Iowa could get the 22nd win. But yeah, I can't fade the 25 and the 15 in Tampa. Clemson has those numbers. I mean, if you faded 25 and 15 in Tampa, you've lost way more than you've won. So the 22 does make it a possibility. But yeah, I got to go with the historical law. Take 25 in Tampa.
I'm not a greedy person. I don't say, here, to get my sports picks, you got to pay $500 a month, even though they're worth that. They're worth that.
Northern Iowa, though, has an interesting narrative to me, man. They can get that 24th win, 6-date numerology. St. John's 24 in the most pure. Should have something out there with Northern Iowa. They got some nice value. We know 12 equals 87. The first 12 on the slate did win.
You can just write them down. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen.
UCF, UCLA. Again, it's the 118 thing for me here. UCLA wins both games. They're going to be 118 and 46 in the tournament. March Madness 118 and 46. Philly and LA, the 118 cities. The threat is UCF getting their 22nd win to face UConn, but Purdue should win. They should win. And if they win their first two, they're probably going to face Gonzaga with 29 wins. Yeah, I don't think Florida's going down. The shocker would just be for the 87th tournament. It does look like Florida can get beat by Clemson, though. We talked about that. They can pick up 27th win and face Clemson. Cal Baptist in Kansas. Again, Cal Baptist does have that shot at the 26th win, so could it be a John the Baptist joke? This has a ton of value. But yeah, Cal Baptist, the school's 76 years old. John the Baptist, 76. You could tease him up 1 to plus 15.5. You want to go extra safe. 15-date numerology. Could be some 15-point games. I'm pretty sure UConn's getting that 73rd win over Furman. Miami, Missouri. We saw that if Purdue beat Miami in the next round, they'd get their 53rd win and stay on 36 losses. Hurricanes in Miami. I feel most of the narratives I went with weren't through the coach. It was the coach stuff that screwed me yesterday. So I didn't really do that on day 2.
And then he's always doing his false math for how much money you would have lost, which is total BS. to the winners.
Yeah, we hit the bookie nice.
I feel like today's going to be better than yesterday.
Another wrong prediction. Year after year, we continue to hit the big upsets in the first round, but a lot of you guys are into March Madness, and we do our damage every year in the opening round. Some people are just full of shit at the end of the day.
Definitely more brain fatigue than normal. There's just so much to process. Tournament hasn't been up to par so far, but
That's an understatement.
the tournament's left a lot to be desired. They've definitely made the thing a lot harder than it used to be.
Excuses.
St. Louis and Michigan, man, that St. Louis team, they looked pretty legit. They are a big team. I think if I had to play this one, I'd just take St. Louis at plus 16.5. The Michigan coach, he could get his 60th win with Michigan. That's Billikens, or he could fall to 7-4 in the tournament. Today's date numerology is 7. 7-4 does look like 74. St. Louis is 74. Granted, they don't spell St. Louis the way the hockey team does, but it's still technically there. It's the same place. They actually spell it out all the way. If I had to play this one, I'm on St. Louis at plus 16.5. But yeah, if I had to go that one, St. Louis plus 16.5.
I mean, I've been absolutely correct about everything I came with. And for every troll who tried to take a clip of that and then show things I've been wrong about, you're a moron. I've been right about everything.
I'm right about everything. Louisville, Michigan also looks pretty tight. Louisville's got some reasons to upset. They got 3 things going in the date numerology, and they could get their 78th win in the tournament. Michigan State is 78. The 27, the big Buffalo number, it could play in favor of Michigan State, getting their 27th win of the year, or they could get their 27th loss in the tournament. I think Louisville at plus 7.5 is where I'd be comfortable with this game.
That's what we call a fucking loser.
I got to roll with Duke. And also something we documented. My initial thought was Duke would play Michigan State. They very well could. If Duke faces Michigan State, they'll go in on 129 tournament wins. Michigan State 129. So that matchup could end up making a lot of sense. Keep in mind, Duke can get their 34th win on 34 date numerology, and TCU was ranked number 34 coming in. We thought Houston and Texas A&M would both advance, so Houston could end up getting their 30th win versus the Aggies. I'm still on that narrative. The threat would be getting their 7th loss of the year on the 7 date, but Gematria usually beats date numerology. Keep in mind it is a 16 date, and if A&M loses, they're going to stay on 16 wins in the tournament, so I think Houston gets it done here. Gonzaga, Texas has become iffy. The death of Chuck Norris, Walker, Texas Ranger, Texas team starting 5-0. But yeah, I got to think about all these Texas schools. My thought was they would have Tommy Lloyd face Mark Few, though. That still could happen because Tommy Lloyd used to coach under Mark Few at Gonzaga.
Gonzaga can get their 28th tournament loss and their 28th tournament appearance against the 28th state on Saturday, 28.
That's a lot more 28s than I had.
And I believe that Gonzaga would fall to 4-2 against Texas all time. And I think someone pointed out that Texas is the 42nd ranked team, right?
They are, and they became 42-42, beating the double 40 Cougars.
They're 42-42 in the tournament right now, so they have 84 games played. If they play today, it's going to be their 85th, and then they can move on and play their 86th. You just had Chuck Norris die at age 86.
That's true. If Texas advances, they'd be in their 86th game. That's a good point. I think if I took Texas, though, I'd tease them up a point to plus 7.5 on the 7 date. Okay, VCU, Illinois. VCU looks like they have a legit upset chance here. They have that connection of 97 and 25. 97 is the 25th prime. They're out of Richmond, Virginia, which equals 259. If they upset Illinois, Illinois is 25-9. You want to go extra conservative, you could tease VCU all the way up to plus 16.5. They're the Rams. Rams has that strong 15 connection. Sometimes the 11s do some damage.
We make the casinos bleed because they hate what our community does.
Vanderbilt, Nebraska. I think we got this one read right. If Nebraska wins today, Fred Hoiberg gets his 227th win. Vanderbilt Commodores 227. If Vanderbilt wins, they're 28-6. Nebraska Cornhuskers 286. 48 weeks they've been in the top 20. Final Four 48. If they make it there, they're going to be 4-8 in the tournament all time. Could be a special year for them in 26. Nebraska equals 26. 2026. They had to wait until this year to get their first tournament win. But yeah, that was the read for these teams to meet up. So it makes sense here. Arkansas High Point. Arkansas has a real good narrative to go deep into the tournament. We did say the one scare for Arkansas is losing a game in Portland and getting their 37th tournament loss. Portland does like 37 a lot. But yeah, that Arkansas going deep narrative makes a lot of sense. It is a legit threat, that 37th loss. So Arkansas definitely has the narrative to go deeper in this tournament. I mean, that's part of the reason I go with them. But the Portland 37 is the real threat here, just because 37 does happen a lot in Portland.
Yeah, I mean, but if Arkansas wins, they're gonna be 28-8, and Arkansas Razorbacks is 288.
That's a good one.
Arkansas's coach Calipari, he could get his 61st win in the tournament versus High Point, which equals 61.
That was an oversight.
It's in the most pure too.
Yeah, that's a good one. That was oversight. And then he's always doing his false math for how much money you would have lost, which is total BS. Congrats to the winners.
Yeah, we hit the bookie nice.
I'm still, there hasn't been a day that I've just felt great about our tournament outcome. So I'm hoping today's going to be a great day. We're due for a great day. I'm keeping my idea from what I had out of the gate. I thought these teams would meet up and Purdue would beat Miami to become 53-36 in the tournament. Hurricanes equals 53, Miami 36. I still think that is the top scenario. The date numerology, though, is the scare here. Miami can get their 17th win in the tournament on 17-date numerology. Essentially, the 8's a moot point because it can go either way. And then the one other threat is, Texas did beat Gonzaga yesterday, which makes sense after the Chuck Norris death. If Miami wins, they will face Texas, the 28th state, and have a chance to pick up their 28th win of the year. So, yeah, that is a little bit interesting, but I still like that perfect tournament record, the 53-36 thing. So I got to stick with Purdue. Kentucky and Iowa State. Hold on, you guys. I just saw something I was overlooking. If Kentucky won today, they'd get their 136th win, the 16th triangular number. That would put them in the Sweet 16. All right. Just about recognizing that 136, I almost overlooked that. Remember, the first time a 16 beat a 1, you guys, it was the 136th meeting of a 16 and a 1. That 136, potential 136 is a big deal. Okay. Yeah, my whole opinion on this Kentucky game changed, and I almost overlooked that. And I do think if you do take Kentucky at the points, you probably want to tease them up just in case. But, man, that 136 is screaming.
You going with Kentucky today, Zach?
I noticed they can get the 136th win in the tournament. That's the 16th triangular and go to the Sweet 16. So I missed that at first, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute.
So we're going against 29 at Kentucky.
No, I didn't say you have to go against it. You can take them with the points is what I said.
Wait.
You guys, I've been here for over a decade doing this consistently, and it's been nothing but winning the whole time. St. John's, Kansas. This actually looks tighter than I thought, but I see a little bit more for St. John's to prevail. Kansas season would end on 24 wins. And the coach, I actually had all this written down before the tournament even began. If Kansas did face St. John's, the coach could get his 167th loss with Kansas, which is the 39th prime. And St. John's is also 39. So is New York, where St. John's is. They'd get their 11th loss of the year, like Kansas is 11, but New York's the 11th state. So I think that is the better scenario. The thing that worries me is Kansas. Where is it? Their coach could stay on 24 losses in the tournament. That is a little worrisome, but it's a stay narrative. And if St. John's does prevail, their coach will stay on 22 losses in the tournament, and they'll face Duke, the school with the 22 connection. Tennessee, Virginia. I think Tennessee has one of the better Sweet 16 narratives. If their coach wins, he gets his 256th win with Tennessee. That's the square root of 16. I mean, Tennessee's the 16th state. I don't see how he doesn't get that 256th win. They can also get their 33rd win in the tournament. By the way, I meant to go over this at the top. Watch how 33 is playing throughout the day. There's a 33 in almost every single game today. Sunday is the one day of the week that equals 33. When you spell out 16 as a word, it equals 33. These teams go to the Sweet 16 with a win. So Tennessee can get their 33rd win in the tournament. So I'm not sure about – I doubt all of this is going to happen. A lot of these games, I'm on the other side of it. Like, yeah, I guess Tennessee's my favorite thing there because I like their 16 narrative for Tennessee. I just can't go against that. 256, the square root of 16, how sweet it is. Iowa and Florida. You know, my initial thought was that Duke was going to play Florida in the Final Four before we had our big stream, just because Duke could get their 37th win over Florida in the Final Four. Gators 37. There's some other things that could make sense, and that Nebraska narrative really got me, so I ended up switching out that idea. I got to lean Florida today to win. I mean, they are a big favorite. They're not exciting, but the coach getting to 8-2 in the tournament on 8-date numerology, Gators equals 82. I saw that he would stay on 76 losses as well. Remember, today's 3-2-2. Skull and Bones equals 76. So yeah, I think Florida's got the better scenario.
The only people who aren't winning off my knowledge are people who aren't using it.
Utah State, Arizona. In all likelihood, Utah State falls to 8-28 in the tournament, get that 28th loss. Wildcats 28, and stay on 8 wins on the 8-date numerology. Yeah, I can't go against Arizona or Duke based on what we documented all year, but UCLA, we talked about them winning both games in Philly to become 118-46 in the tournament. March Madness 118-46. Philly, the 118 city. Connecticut also 46. Let me add this note for Hot Hand Dave. 118 is the 87th composite number. It's the 87th tournament. Yeah, I'm sticking with UCLA. You could take them with the points, too. I mean, LA likes 4 a lot, so they could cover at 4 even if they lose. Itachi called in yesterday and pointed out that if UCLA won, we checked this out, they'd get their 2,053rd win as a school, which is the 310th prime number, and University of Connecticut's 310. So that's also amazing. The 33 thing is the threat and some 17-date numerology. But, yeah, I got to stick with the UCLA thought. You can take the points if you want to play it safe. You could tease them up to play plus 8.5 if you wanted to go extra safe. You know, I might charge $5 a month. The shit's worth $5,000 a month. Texas Tech, Alabama. I had this one read right originally, I think. I said I thought this would be the matchup, and Texas Tech would get their 31st loss, or the coach would get his 31st loss with the school. Alabama loves a 31, and I see Alabama's the dog. I mean, you could take Alabama with that point. But, yeah, I just can't go against 31 in an Alabama game. We also had, I believe it was TP who called in and pointed out that if Alabama won their first 2 games, their coach would have 266 wins. They're playing in Benchmark International Arena, which is 266. Yeah, I think that's – I can't fade 31 in Alabama. The one game that was a little bit questionable this morning because of the 16 math was the chance of Kentucky beating Iowa State. I favored Iowa State, but I was a little bit worried about Kentucky getting that 136th win in the tournament. That's the 16th triangular number. And Iowa State had a lot of other numbers other than that, though, and better reason to advance. But see, this is just bullshit. Hold on, you guys. I just saw something I was overlooking. If Kentucky won today, they'd get their 136th win, the 16th triangular number. That 136, potential 136 is a big deal. Yeah, my whole opinion on this Kentucky game changed, and I almost overlooked that. And I do think if you do take Kentucky at the points, you probably want to tease them up just in case. But, man, that 136 is screaming.
You going with Kentucky today, Zach?
Well, I noticed they can get the 136th win in the tournament. That's the 16th triangular and go to the Sweet 16. So I missed that at first, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute.
So we're going against 29 at Kentucky.
No, I didn't say you have to go against it. You can take them with the points, is what I said.
The one game that was a little bit questionable this morning because of the 16 math was the chance of Kentucky beating Iowa State. I favored Iowa State, but
All the fucking losers respond to is getting lied to and bullshit, talking out of your ass, making stuff up.
so far, the math numbers connected to 16 got you on the winning side of the bets.
Lies. And then he's always doing his false math for how much money you would have lost, which is total BS. Congrats to the winners.
Yeah, we hit the bookie nice.
And then he's always doing his false math for how much money you would have lost, which is total BS. Congrats to the winners.
Yeah, we hit the bookie nice.
Please, Satan, don't let anybody see that video. I don't have enough money.
Again, the only people not winning with this knowledge are really dumb people. And that's just a fact.
You're smarter than a 5th grader. No, you're not. You're fucking retarded.
ChatGPT, which used to be quite favorable and spoke quite highly of my work, is now like a troll of my work.
Oh no! Oh no!
You know what was also funny? I said, since you're aware of Hubbard's work, you must be aware of the numerous correct predictions. And then it says it's not aware of any correct predictions, but it does know that I thought Kamala Harris would replace Joe Biden during his tenure. So fuck ChatGPT. What a bullshit ass platform. Who's programming it with this bullshit?
That's all, folks.
Till next time, Truth Seeker.